Have you ever imagined seeing an aircraft built entirely in someone's backyard garage still tearing through the skies and passing rigorous FAA inspections 50 years later? Picture the smell of raw aviation fuel, the grease on the floor, and the deafening roar of a flat-4 engine echoing across a dirt runway. Today we are looking at 10 incredible built-not-bought home-built aircraft that refuse to become hangar queens. From humble steel tube pioneers to extreme aerobatic monsters pulling insane G-forces, these machines prove that real gearhead craftsmanship never expires. Stay with me until the very end, because the last aircraft on our list looks less like a standard airframe and more like a metal beast that single-handedly spawned the greatest aviation empire in history. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, grab your wrenches, and let's get started. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is the legendary Corbin Baby Ace, a true pioneer of the Experimental Aircraft Association era. Born in the mid-1950s, this little single-seat parasol monoplane became the ultimate symbol of the grassroots aviation movement, proving that you did not need a factory to take flight. Mechanics across America would weld the fuselage from raw steel tubing right in their driveways, carefully skinning the wings in traditional fabric to save weight. Back in the day, a dedicated wrencher could put one of these together for roughly $800, a fraction of the cost of a factory plane. Under the cowl, the Baby Ace usually packed a reliable Continental engine, pushing anywhere from 65 to 85 horsepower. While that might not sound like a lot compared to modern standards, the sheer lightweight nature of this fabric-covered frame meant it could take off from almost any short, unpaved farm strip with absolute ease. When you fire up that Continental power plant, the whole airframe vibrates with a mechanical honesty that modern composite airplanes simply cannot replicate. The logbooks of these surviving vintage models are filled with thousands of hours of flawless, reliable flight time. The Corbin Baby Ace proved that anyone with enough grit could build a highly capable flying machine right in their own garage. It laid the foundation for the entire home-built community, showing everyday mechanics that the sky was truly the limit. But what if you needed to haul your finished airplane home like a boat when you were done flying for the day? If you think building a plane from scratch is cool, just wait until you see the next incredible machine on our list, which solved the ultimate transportation and storage problem for pilots. Coming in at number 9 is the Bowers Flybaby, an absolute marvel of 1960s backyard engineering designed by the legendary Peter M. Bowers. The defining feature of this rugged single-seat monoplane is not just how it flies, but how it parks. Bowers brilliantly engineered a folding wing mechanism that allowed the entire aircraft to be collapsed in minutes and towed on a standard trailer behind a family station wagon. For the average gearhead without access to an expensive airport hangar, the Flybaby was the perfect weekend warrior, ready to hit the dirt strip anytime. Typically powered by a trusty Continental C85 engine, the Flybaby offers a massive sensory overload the second you push the throttle forward. The open cockpit design exposes the pilot to the raw elements, with the wind screaming past your leather helmet and the pungent scent of engine exhaust filling your nostrils. There are no advanced avionics here to distract you. It is just you, a stick, a rudder, and the rhythmic, aggressive popping of the flat-4 engine working in perfect harmony with the hand-carved wooden propeller pulling you through the crisp morning air. The folding wings of the Flybaby made it an incredible piece of practical engineering, providing ultimate freedom for the working-class pilot who wanted to fly on a budget. It remains a beloved classic at local fly-ins across the country today, but if you crave the classic romance and extreme agility of an open cockpit biplane, the next machine on our list takes the excitement to a whole new level. Get ready for a tiny terror that packs a massive punch and leaves every gearhead wishing they had one parked in their driveway. At number 8, we have the Smith Miniplane, a tiny terror of the skies that has been breaking hearts and snapping necks since the late 1950s. This is a true biplane in every sense, but scaled down to an incredibly compact footprint that makes it look almost like a giant, aggressive toy. Building a mini-plane was a rite of passage for serious craftsmen, requiring absolute precision in rigging the dual wings and welding the intricate wire brace structure. It also sparks one of the most classic debates in any hangar: Lycoming or Continental power. Regardless of the power plant, slipping into the tight cockpit of the Smith mini-plane feels exactly like strapping on a mechanical backpack. With a 100 to 125 horsepower Lycoming engine up front, this featherweight biplane leaps off the runway, delivering a visceral wind-in-your-face experience that makes every turn feel like a World War I dogfight. The control inputs are lightning fast, and the sheer volume of the unbaffled exhaust echoing between the staggered wings is enough to make any grease monkey grin from ear to ear while pulling tight maneuvers high above the clouds. The Smith mini-plane is a high-octane sports car of the skies, built for pure, unadulterated weekend thrills and showing off at the local airstrip. It demands respect and rewards the pilot with an unmatched flying experience. But if you want a machine that trades that aggressive dogfighter mentality for smooth cross-country elegance, the next aircraft has been defying FAA expiration dates with pure European style. Prepare to see a beautiful wooden masterpiece that proves home-built airplanes can be just as refined as anything rolling out of a multi-million-dollar corporate factory today. Taking the number 7 spot is the Piel Emeraude, a gorgeous piece of French engineering that brought a touch of high class to the American home-built scene. While many backyard builds looked like flying farm equipment, the Emeraude featured sweeping elliptical wings and a highly aerodynamic wooden fuselage that looked like it belonged in a museum. Building one was a masterclass in woodworking, requiring builders to shape and glue complex spruce structures with absolute perfection. The resulting airframe was a low-drag masterpiece that sliced through the air with minimal wind resistance. Equipped with a solid Lycoming O235 engine, the Emeraude was not built to do dizzying aerobatic loops. It was designed for smooth, highly efficient cross-country cruising. Unlike many experimental planes that ended up as forgotten hangar queens, the Emeraude became renowned for its reliability, racking up cross-state miles in total comfort. Sitting side by side in the enclosed cabin, pilots could actually hold a normal conversation while enjoying the steady, vibration-free hum of the Lycoming power plant, pulling them effortlessly through the clouds on long weekend getaways across the beautiful American countryside. The Piel Emeraude proved once and for all that home-built aircraft could be refined, elegant, and highly practical for long-distance travel. It remains a testament to the patience and skill of traditional woodworkers. But for those builders who believe that real planes need 2 wings, exposed engines, and the lightest possible footprint, our next entry is an absolute masterclass in steel tubing. If you appreciate raw metal and fabric over polished wood, you are going to love this incredibly lightweight flying machine that handles like an absolute dream in the sky. At number 6, we bring you the Hatz CB1, quite possibly the most perfectly balanced, lightweight 2-seat biplane ever conceived. Designed by John Hatz in 1968, this aircraft is a stunning homage to the golden age of aviation, utilizing a meticulously welded chromoly steel tube fuselage that is left completely exposed during the build process like a piece of industrial art. The entire airframe, covered in tightly shrunk fabric, weighs a staggering 850 pounds empty. That incredibly low weight means it thrives perfectly on a modest 85 horsepower Continental engine. What makes the Hatz CB1 truly legendary among seasoned builders is its miraculous flight stability. Unlike many classic tailwheel aircraft that constantly try to bite you on landing, the CB1 is famous for its hands-off flying characteristics. Once trimmed out, you can literally let go of the stick and let the biplane fly itself. The sensation of floating through the air at sunset, peering out past the round engine cylinders while feeling the gentle rumble of the Continental, is an experience that money simply cannot buy in a modern factory plane. Hey, if you are loving these timeless mechanical marvels and respect the sweat and blood these builders poured into them, do me a massive favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now to keep the gearhead spirit alive. Now the Hatz is a delicate and graceful dancer in the sky, but if you need an absolute flying pickup truck, the next machine changes the game entirely. Get ready to meet a heavy-duty all-metal beast that can haul massive loads and shrug off the harshest weather conditions imaginable. Coming in at number 5 is the Zenith CH-300, a rugged all-metal beast that completely threw away the traditional wooden fabric playbook. Designed by Chris Heinz, this aircraft was built like a flying tank, utilizing heavy-duty aluminum skins firmly riveted over a robust metal skeleton. For builders who were tired of worrying about fabric rot or delicate wooden ribs, the CH-300 offered a level of durability that could survive harsh weather and brutal, unpaved runways. You could leave it tied down outside in the elements without losing sleep. Powered by much heavier and stronger engines, the Zenith CH-300 was not just a weekend toy, it was a serious cross-country hauler. With massive fuel tanks capable of holding 34 gallons, this tri-gear cruiser could carry a pilot, a passenger, and a mountain of cargo over vast distances without needing to stop. The cabin is cavernous compared to older Homebuilts, and the sheer pulling power during a full gross weight takeoff feels just like shifting a heavy-duty diesel truck into gear and letting the massive engine torque do all the hard work. The Zenith CH-300 gave backyard builders the ultimate heavy-hauling utility vehicle for the skies, proving that homemade planes could be highly practical workhorses. It changed the landscape for pilots who needed rugged reliability. But what if you want to trade all that practical cargo space for the ability to pull extreme G-forces and tumble wildly through the sky? The next aircraft is a breathtaking visual masterpiece built for pure, unadulterated acrobatics. Strap in tight because this beautiful biplane is guaranteed to make your stomach drop and your heart race. At number 4 is the breathtaking Starduster II, an aircraft that has consistently dropped jaws at EAA Oshkosh for decades. Designed by the Stolp family, this two-seat biplane features sweeping, swept-back upper wings and a sleek aerodynamic profile that makes it look like it is doing 100 miles per hour even while parked on the tarmac. Building a Starduster is a monumental task of precision welding and intricate fabric work, demanding a level of skill and dedication that clearly separates the casual hobbyist from the true master mechanics of the aviation world. When you bolt a massive 180 horsepower Lycoming engine to the front of this beautifully curved airframe, the Starduster II transforms into a graceful aerobatic acrobat. Pushing the throttle forward unleashes a deafening roar, pulling the plane into vertical climbs and dizzying snap rolls with effortless power. The open cockpit design means the pilot and passenger feel every single G-force, experiencing the raw physical violence of aerobatics while strapped tightly into a mechanical frame they built entirely with their own bare hands. It is the ultimate thrill ride for any dedicated gearhead. The Starduster is a high-horsepower work of art, perfectly designed to dance gracefully through the clouds while turning heads everywhere it goes. It represents the pinnacle of classic biplane aesthetics combined with thrilling performance, but if you want a biplane that trades that delicate grace for sheer armored brute force, our next machine is a 4130 steel monster that literally conquered the ocean. Prepare yourself for a heavily fortified flying machine that looks like it could survive a war zone and keep flying long after everything else has fallen apart. Taking the number 3 spot is the mighty Marquardt Charger, an imposing beefy biplane that looks like it could survive a literal war zone. Unlike the delicate curves of other biplanes, the Charger is built around an over-engineered framework of heavy-duty chromoly 4130 steel tubing, making it one of the stiffest and strongest Homebuilts ever designed. Its massive wide-stance landing gear is practically bulletproof, capable of absorbing horrific landings on rutted, unforgiving dirt strips without bending a single strut. It is widely considered the ultimate muscle car of the biplane world. Usually powered by a heavy-breathing Lycoming O290 engine or larger, the Charger commands respect the moment it fires up, spitting smoke and barking with a deep, resonant idle. This is not just a local flyer. In a legendary display of its ruggedness in 1991, a builder actually flew his solo Marquardt Charger all the way across the treacherous Atlantic Ocean at the age of 70. Sitting behind that thumping engine, surrounded by thick steel tubes, you feel an overwhelming sense of mechanical invincibility that modern planes simply cannot offer. Crossing an entire ocean in a garage-built biplane is absolute insanity, proving the unbreakable nature and sheer reliability of the Mark IV Charger. It stands as a monument to heavy-duty engineering and pilot bravery. But if you think that is wild, imagine a simple high school homework project that eventually evolved into one of the most violent extreme G aerobatic planes in existence. Our next entry pushes the structural limits of metal and fabric so far that it can outperform many military aircraft. Brace yourself for a truly mind-bending adrenaline rush. Coming in hot at number 2 is the Steen Skybolt, an aircraft that completely redefines the limits of home-built structural integrity. Originally conceived in 1970 by Lamar Steen as an engineering project for his high school shop class, this ambitious design quickly morphed into an absolute monster. The airframe is so heavily reinforced and meticulously engineered that it is rated to withstand a bone-crushing positive 12 Gs and negative 10 Gs. To put that into perspective, this garage-built plane can take more structural punishment than many modern military fighter jets. When equipped with a fuel-injected high-horsepower engine, the Skybolt becomes a violent, adrenaline-pumping thrill ride. The sheer acceleration pushes you deep into the seat harness, and when you yank the control stick back to initiate an aggressive outside loop, the roaring sound of the engine is drowned out only by the rushing wind. It is an aircraft built specifically for pilots who want to fly upside down, tumble through disorienting gyroscopic maneuvers, and push the absolute physical limits of both the machine and their own bodies high in the sky. The Steen Skybolt is the ultimate adrenaline junkie's weapon of choice, built to tear the sky apart and dominate any aerobatic competition it enters. It proves that backyard engineering can achieve world-class performance levels. But for all the engineering brilliance we have seen today, absolutely nothing compares to the legendary machine at number 1. We are about to look at a barn. Find that did not just fly well, it completely changed the aviation world forever and started an empire. Get ready to meet the undisputed king of homebuilts. And finally, at number 1, we have the undisputed king of home-built aircraft, the legendary Vans RV-3. In 1971, a brilliant gearhead named Richard Van Grunsven rolled this single-seat, all-aluminum bullet out of his garage, completely shattering everything the world knew about kit planes. While other home-builts were slow, draggy, and complex, the RV-3 was a sheer aerodynamic masterpiece. By utilizing a perfectly stressed aluminum skin and a highly efficient wing design, Van Grunsven created an aircraft that was astonishingly lightweight yet incredibly rigid, setting a new gold standard for performance. The performance of the RV-3 was nothing short of terrifyingly brilliant. Strapping a standard Lycoming engine to this sleek bullet-shaped fuselage resulted in top speeds approaching 195 miles per hour. When you open the throttle on an RV-3, it does not just take off. It rockets into the sky like a guided missile. The control stick is so incredibly sensitive that you fly the plane with mere pressure from your fingertips, making it feel like the aluminum wings are directly hardwired into your own nervous system as you carve through the air. The Vans RV-3 was not just a successful airplane, it was the powerful spark that ignited a massive empire. That single garage-built prototype proved so dominantly superior that it spawned a lineage of kit planes, resulting in over 10,000 RV aircraft flying worldwide today. It is the ultimate testament to the built-not-bought philosophy, proving that a single dedicated mechanic with a clear vision can out-engineer the massive aerospace corporations. The RV-3 forever changed the way we look at home-built aviation, earning its rightful place at the absolute top. These machines aren't just welded steel and stretched fabric. They are the ultimate triumph of backyard engineering. They prove that real gearhead grit never expires. So, which of these home-built monsters would you park in your own garage? And the ultimate question, are you Team Lycoming or Team Continental? Let me know in the comments below. If you respect the sweat and blood behind these mechanical beasts, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. See you next time.